gentlemen, introducing Mark Pires, Renaissance Man.
Okay, people, gather around. The Mark Pires Renaissance Man show. Is he still alive? Wait, hold on. I'm not done. Trying to get to the bottom of this. Number 2. Is he still alive?
He is Dr. Evil.
Why is he still alive, and why did you answer when I was asking number 2? I'm trying to get to the bottom of this. Number 2!
A plan is in the works, Dr. Evil.
This is wonderful news, number 2. Over 1,000 days in a row, we've managed to keep the world from knowing he exists.
Dr. Evil, he's still going and doesn't care.
Well, we need to find another way to stop the show. He's making me look bad, you know? Yeah, no. Perhaps we can make him look like racist or something?
That may work, Dr. Evil.
Perhaps we can get the media to cancel him?
This is your best idea yet, Dr. Evil.
Okay, number 2. Get me Dr. Facce.
Dr. Evil. Dr. Facce is on the evil monitor.
Thank you, number 2. Dr. Facce.
Dr. Evil. It's Dr. Facce.
Well, Dr. Facce. It looks like the gig is up. The Renaissance Man show knows all about you.
Yeah, look, they created a character after me. We gotta squash him like the friggin' mouse that he is. He calls me a weasel, Fauci. I'm not a weasel, okay? I'm not a doctor. I'm Dr. Facce, okay? Don't call me Dr. Weasel Fauci, okay? Because that's anecdotal.
Anecdotal Fauci. That's what they're always making fun of you about. That you're always anecdotal.
No, I know. It's like I said, that everything's anecdotal.
Excellent. Dr. Facce, initiate the final plan.
They never even asked you. Welcome, family and friends, to the Mark Pires Renaissance Man Show. We are live every single day of the year for unscripted live comedy, songwriting in the moment, and total inspiration. So join us on a tour of some of the accomplishments and content created in the first 1,000 days and counting of Renaissance Man. So far in 2021, 12 albums and 156 songs have been released into the world. But we're not even close to done yet, fam. My plan is to put an album out every month for the rest of my days, as well as show up for you every single night. I've created 3 feature films this year: Batmark vs. Supermark, Three's Company the Breakup Artist, and A Christmas Story. Within these comedies, many original characters have surfaced. You know, we have Batmark, Dick Facce, which he doesn't look like this really, but that's Facce. And then of course Supermark, who's pretty freaking super if you ask me, just saying. Hammerlin Jamison's a bit of a drunkard, and he tried to get the role of Supermark. It didn't go well. He does all right at a side gig of, newscaster situation. But you can see in that top photo, he's not doing too well these days. Anyway. Dr. Wayne Doppler, tallest man alive, 8'9", Guinness, and he's also in the Batmark and Supermark movie. And Dr. Weasel Fauci, if you don't know who he is, wear 5,647 masks, especially if you're going to Mars. Stuck on Mars. I will be making a movie out of that. Sid 45, make sure you don't get rupees. Sid has rupees literally pouring out of his igloo. Francesco Vigilughi. Look, if you ever need a cartographer, there's just one guy. The Curious Case of Ben Affleck Head. It's about a guy with a head so large he could literally change the poles. Oh, Dystopia 2021. If you missed that, that's the world we're living in today. If you haven't seen it, I did a couple episodes on it. BB Poo Poo. Don't forget we did 3 cryptos this year. BB Poo Poo, Pee Pee Poo Poo, and of course, Shibbity Bibbity Boo. But it almost was wrecked because of the original Shick Shiggity Boo Boo. Well, look, people are still on the fence, Things were pretty bad for BB Poo Poo at the beginning. And of course, we have many episodes of Spider-Mark, Peter Marker. If you didn't know, check it out. Mark Pires of the Caribbean. That was a hilarious movie. And then if you can't dance, you just, watch this episode. There's 2 of them. Really good stuff. And did you watch Match Game? I did it. And Pressure Luck in it. We did a little Pressure Luck style too, Peter DeMarkin. And if you didn't see Waterworld 2027, I'm the last one left because of the bugaboo. We did many other homages to movies and TV shows and Facce Mulder.
Sonny, you still got the cough?
There are over 100 insane scenes with Dick Facce. And then of course I saved the world, saved all the animals and stuff too. Zucker Chooch, Donald Trump Show, make sure you check that out. And we did a couple of raps over the last year. You may not want to miss those. Trump, Biden, and Christopher Walken rapping? Yeah. Back to the Future, Mark. Guys, the next movie that's coming out, Back to the Future, Mark. You may not remember some of the characters that I was in the past, so let's just go over it in real time. Mark says, I did it. 10 Commandments. Mark Stradamus, telling the future, of course. Oh, and the artwork I created as Leonardo da Vinci. The Mona Lisa, when I got that freaking red, like murdering a family. That was what O.J. Simpson of the 1600s. Hey, Michelangelo, after you finish that, sculpture, you think you could paint this ceiling? Got it. Circumnavigating the globe is Mark Jellin. Markola Tesla? If I didn't do my time here as Markola, you guys would have nothing when it comes to electricity. I still can't believe it. I'm sitting there, I'm writing the Fur Elise, right? I'm in the middle of it. And they're scratching it out and they're writing freaking that hack Beethoven's name on it, right? Don't even get me started on what they did when I was Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. Doing the fifth and taking all that work. And then like modern days, when I'm doing Mark and M, doing the 8 Mile situation. I'm like, Mark and M's the man now, but I paved the way is the Marktorious B.I.G. as well. When I was Mark Claude Van Damme, I remember that one. Oh, Mark Schwarzenegger? You didn't know I was Mark Schwarzenegger? Yeah, that was funny when I worked next to DeVito. The Emancipation Marklamation of 1863. I did my time as Abraham Mark Lincoln. You guys didn't know I was Abraham Mark? You guys are all Mark Della. That's why this is all part of the Mark Della effect. Everybody's like, Mandela, man. No, it's Mark Della. Get with it. And then the time I was Mark Guyver, remember, you give me a friggin' toothpick and some tooth floss and we're off. I'm building a bomb. So that's just a good overview of a lot of the shows, not all of them. We have tons of new gear up on the website, guys, markpires.com. In there you can pick up your gear, you can pick up a signed CD, and also don't forget about beatseat.rocks, my invention that I patented. This is her sitting on it. And this is a little demo I made. Welcome to BeatSeat.rocks. My name is Mark Pires, and I'm the inventor of the Beat Seat. Today I'm going to share all of the details of the Beat Seat. It's the ultimate percussion drum. You can play it with your hands and feet while sitting completely upright. It's got 4 playable panels, omnitone. Everywhere you hit it sounds different. It's the first drum you could sit completely upright and play with your hands and feet at the same time. It's the Beat Seat. It's the only drum that you could play with your hands and feet while sitting completely upright. Anything you'd play in a drum kit, you could play on this, because you're playing with your entire body, but you're sitting upright. Your feet do this. So that's the Beat Seat, the ultimate percussion drum. You can play it with your hands, with your feet at the same time. It has unlimited tones. There's so much to explore. I hope to build one for you. Have a great day. Thank you for watching. And of course, fam, I can't leave you without a little bit of motivation. So take these quotes with you as we get ready to rock for one more night. And yes, we will be doing it again tomorrow. So, until I see you in just a moment, it's Mark Pires. And it's Renaissance Man.
stars blowing, I'm going to find a way. Some night when the world stops hating, we're going to find a way.
Tickets are available at the box office. Thanks for helping us keep the theater clean. As you exit the auditorium, please deposit litter in trash receptacles in the lobby. Please be considerate and don't talk during the show.
Thank you for coming to Lowe's. Sit back and relax. Enjoy the show.
It's Tuesday. It's Mark Pires. And it's Renaissance Man. I'm here to ease my mind and help my living. It's Renaissance Man. It's the daily variety show Mark Pires Renaissance Man. I'm here to connect with you, to amplify your current state. And I'm here with you on day 1121 in a row of the Renaissance Man show. And we're going to get into it just like we do every single night, fam and friends. So I hope you're getting ready for a party. Share the show. Let them know we're going to be here for another couple hours. I got 7 more news stories for you tonight. Oh, yeah. I've been enjoying doing the news, guys. It's a new aspect to the show. Get ready for it. I've also been inviting people to come on and have a chat. I want to start to get into the depths of the creators on the platform with me and start to talk about their journey, just like mine. So I've invited a handful. We have Ron Tyler from EMA on the 31st. I cannot wait. That's 6 days from now, guys. I got to put an event together. But I wanted to share with you a couple of things. Today, we're going to get into this. No, Zabrowski, I know you have a woo-hoo coming up. I need it today. Okay? But I'm just saying, want to get into the story. All right? It was a crazy day for me. Well, let's start with last night, and then we'll get into today. After the show last night, I went over to TikTok, and I decided to go live, and I put a little thing over my head that said, if you haven't gotten it yet, why would you eat now? You know, with everybody getting the, the Civid, the Cove, why would you get the Bugaboo now if everybody's getting it, So basically I was just having an open debate with people. I had a couple of really great conversations. And then this one lady came and destroyed the whole thing. She got me banned for 7 more days. And it's interesting because one person comes along, or maybe 3, I don't know. I had like 350 people on at one point. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, okay, I'm talking about something I really don't want to talk about, but they're asking my opinion, and then they're telling me what they think. And I said, well, this is what I see, and this is what I've saw. And I talked about Antarctica, and I talked about all the things that I've seen that they don't want to consider facts. And bottom line is, this lady hits me with all this propaganda stuff, like, oh, you're misinformation, and you're dangerous, and the things you're saying, and educate yourself. You don't know anything about bugaboos. And I'm like, yeah, find me a real bugaboo. This is a therapy. It's not a bugaboo. I'm sick of people saying that, oh, you should do your research on bugaboos. Okay, well then find me a bugaboo. We don't have one. We got gene therapy. Anyway, regardless, I went on, did like 2 hours, and everything was all right until the end when this lady came on, and I think she's the one who pushed it over. And the reality is this. Everybody should be able to have an opinion. You shouldn't be a Karen and say, well, nobody else in the world should hear this. Let me tear it down because you can't hear it. I think it's bad. Zabros, give me a woo-hoo. Woo-hoo! I needed that right there, guys. I was getting down on the TikTok situation. So we're there, 350, 380 people at one point, and we're teetering in the 300s. And I'm seeing a lot of positive. I'm seeing a lot of negative because a lot of people out there are like, you should go get it. And so at the end of the day, it was a very weird dynamic. I actually didn't enjoy it because I was seeing so much hate. And I don't like hate. I just think it's so stupid because people are deciding to jump after people in their entire lives based on a one conversation, you know, and how someone feels about this thing that has been very much forced. And I would just say simple things like, don't you think it's weird that 2 years in, they still haven't looked at those two, let's call it treatments or whatever, but that they vilified, and they still haven't been able to put a team on them in 2 years? So that's where I really have an issue. So I wasn't saying much, guys. I really was having a nice back and forth. Each conversation I had with the people that came on the air with me, we ended it smiling at each other and like sending love to each other. It was so cool. And then the people that were in the chat that weren't, you know, brave enough to come on the air were the ones who decided to say, oh, we can't let the world hear this. So I'm off the air on TikTok for 7 days just because of a conversation where I'm having a debate with people and talking about our sides of this topic. So I just, and then I realized too, the way this you're going to, no matter what, you're going to piss off half the country or more, you know, no matter what you do in this day and age. There's no way to create anything that everybody could to get on board and be like, this is cool. Let me step away from, like Batmark versus Supermark, Three's Company, the Breakup Artists. Those are good examples of stepping away from. Nobody should have a problem from either side of the aisle, and it's just it's a weird thing to see how people are acting these days and the hatred that they're pouring out of their hearts, and you know that's going to come back to haunt them. You know, I may get passionate about the topic because I don't think we're being told the truth, and the truth is being held below blankets and below the surface of the earth. No one's able to get to it without an excavator. And even then, you need to have some specialists to sift through the rubble. We should be allowed to question things, especially since 2014 they made it legal for propaganda to be shifted all over the airwaves. I wish I had the actual document, but it was something that Barry brought into play. So look, end of the day, I had a great thing going. In fact, we're on there doing this great conversation. I think a couple hundred followers came through onto the TikTok platform during that one live. And then we're banned for a week. We can't go live for a week. For misinformation. It's like unbelievable. Are you kidding me? I'm misinfor? All right, dude. I'm the misinfor? Dr. Weasel Fauci is not the misinfor. He's awesome. Everything he says is great until he changes him. And then that's great. The thing before, he's just getting the science as he gets it. Well, the other people said that, all the same things he's saying now, and you just called them lunatics and ripped them down. Oh, man, it's a sad thing that people are just so mental, they can't even think logically. Like, okay, it started as 2 weeks, and then now we're here, and we need a fourth. Get a fourth. Ugh. So anyway, that's how my TikTok experience went. I went on there to try to connect with people and have a real conversation, because every time I've gone on there, they specifically shift this one or two people in front of me that say, go get your bugaboo. It's safe and like, and I just want to get on there and be like, how dare you shill? These people are shills. They're getting paid to do that because nobody should be out there like forcing that agenda any longer. It's just mental. The super spreaders. Oh, let's go get the thing. Be a super spreader. Okay. Like, oh, but you don't get really sick. You don't get really sick? I know a lot of people that are getting really sick, so I just don't know. It's like hit or miss, you know? Definitely people that they're saying they unbugabooed are the ones that are higher, and they're in the hospital and they're having a harder time with it. But I have a hard time with all the data, you know, because everything's been flawed from the beginning. So I don't know. We can't go down a road where we don't trust anything we hear anymore. And that's what somebody was saying last night. I agree. You can't get to a point where all you think is everything's against you. No. It's not that way. I just know that this is a pretty messed up thing that's been planned out for 50, 60 years. It seems to be coming to fruition. I hope it's not. But, you know, call people names and throw sticks and stones all you want. But when it starts to become truth, and there's no apologies that come along, you just continue to call those people names. And it's a weird thing, but that's the way the world has always been. People never have accountability for their actions or for doing wrong on others when they should, rightfully. They should just stand up and say, look, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have done that, you know. So unfortunately, what started as possibly a thing I was going to do every night. I was going to go on there and just keep doing this face-to-face thing. What I realized is when I put my show on here while we're doing the Renaissance Man show and I'm just having TikTok tune in and watch it, they don't care about stuff like that. They want people interacting with the screen. So when I did that and I started looking and talking to people as they were coming in and chatting to the screen itself, the thing freaking blew up. And so what I'm going to do in 7 days, and you guys should follow me on TikTok, is I'm going to go on there and I'm going to just have straight up conversations about inspiring people and music, but we're going to be right with the screen. It's not going to be on YouTube. So you're going to have to be on TikTok for those, because I'm going to be right there just putting all the focus on whatever's going on in that chat. I'm going to blow that freaking platform up because right now now again, because I got banned for 7 more days, anything I put out is going to get thrown in a hole. There's nothing's going to be seen. So that's unfortunate. I have to erase the app again, I think, and try, but I'm not going to do it since it just happened last night. I'm going to let it go for another day. I put the couple clips up of my car. So let me tell you what happened. I'm driving on my way home today, and all of a sudden I feel this like clunk, right? And I see all the dashboard lights pop up, and it says slow and stop, or come to a stop, or something like that. And I don't have any more gas. It's an electric car. I don't have any more push. There's nothing going on. I'm putting my foot down. Nothing's happening. It's still coasting though. Thank goodness. It didn't come to a halt, but it did say all-wheel drive inactive. And then all of a sudden, all these other lights are coming on. So this is one positive thing that's about to take place. As I'm driving and still coasting, I see this driveway to the right, and it's an abandoned property. It hasn't been built out yet. There's a sign out front that says property for sale, but there's no property yet. It's just a piece of land. And so I was able to pull into this driveway, and enough where I pulled off the street, 6 to 8 feet off the street, and I'm sitting there and I'm thinking to myself, what the hell's going on here? I got 41% charge on my battery. So it's not like I'm like, oh, I'm at 3%. I got to get home because I'm going to run out of battery. No, I had 41% charge. Then I remember when I got this car, they said, there's 2 batteries. You have the friggin' battery, the one that drives the car, where you get your hundreds of miles, 200 miles out of it, which I used to get 390 when I first got the car. That's another story. So the car's like, won't start. It's just, won't even get into gear. It's just staying in park. And I'm seeing this thing. It says accessory battery active. And I'm like, well, how the hell do I get the car started? You know? So after a second, I'm just calling over to get the, roadside service on the line. And I'm realizing that, first of all, there's no power in the car right now. It's an electric car. We're running on accessory battery, so you should never do that, but there's nothing else working. So I'm sitting there because I need the Wi-Fi because there's no freaking cell signal. That's the other thing. I'm in the one area on this strip where there's no service. Here's the other terrible thing. Where this driveway is, it's about 500 yards to the next driveway, to the actual next house. And I have to go even like 1,000 yards back to get to the, to the other house in order to figure out if there's service or even to figure out where I was. I had no idea where I was because my GPS wasn't working. Another story. So I'm sitting there with the Wi-Fi on in the car. I'm calling, trying to get the roadside service on the line. This is the freaking worst customer service I've ever heard in my life. I just got this freaking car in July, guys. It's not like this is like a 15-year-old car and I'm like, hey, AAA, can you come and get me? We're talking about a brand new car. Okay. And this is my issue. This is what we've gotten to a lot of conversations here. First series, everything suck. They have great intentions. They look really cool on the outside. But once you start peeling that orange, woo. Guys, the car that I bought thinking that I would have no more issues anymore and I'd be driving an electric car into the future is the Ford Mustang Mach-E. It's a electric car. All electric. It's the first all electric car that Ford put out. I should have He stopped right there. I should have been like, no, let me go with something. I hate Tesla. Not that I hate, I love Elon Musk. I just hate that everywhere I go, I see Teslas now. I just don't like, I like a little bit more of a unique vehicle. Not that you can get a unique vehicle anymore. They're everywhere. But Teslas are everywhere where I live. And there was no car. Nobody has the Mach E. For the first 3 months I owned the car, I only saw 5 of my car on the road. Now I see them occasionally, which is kind of cool. However, get back to this story. I'm stuck in the middle of these, properties in this abandoned driveway. There's no Wi-Fi or internet, so I'm using the Wi-Fi from the car, so the car's still running. And the car starts making more weird noises and screens are shutting down. And I'm like, what the? I start doing the research on my phone. It says that there's an accessory battery, which I've heard about before, like a regular battery that we all have to run stuff in the car. That's what apparently died. So the thing that I'm worried about is I've heard, and I didn't read this now, but I remember reading about 4 or 5 months ago when I first got the car, that if that thing dies, the car's bricked and they can't do anything with the car. Like, it's dead. The car's dead. And I'm like, I don't know what the hell that means, but I'll tell you what. That car, I just bought it. It's under warranty. And do we have a lemon law situation? Like the first electric lemon law? Like, this is a brand new car. I've had to bring it in 4 times in the last month. Now it's got to go back into the shop because it died today while I was driving it. I've had that happen, I think, in my life where I'm driving and all of a sudden, I got to pull off the road. But this was like, what the? It felt like something gave out. And I think what it is there was a mechanical failure and the battery power from something's not charging properly, the alternator, whatever, but they're going to have to fix that. That's on them. But the thing that bothers me most is when I get them on the phone and I say, look, I've been in 4 times in the last month. Every single time I go there, they say, hey, you know what? We don't have a car for you. We're in a Plan Demaroo. So we don't have a car for you. You're going to have to just get a ride. And so 4 times I've missed complete days where I've told clients I can't show you property. I don't have a car today. And so I'm waiting for my car to get back. So I call them, and while I'm on the phone with them, I say, you need to get me a car. I'm not going to be doing this, that, and other thing. They're like, oh, we'll put you on the phone with consumer affairs. They disconnect with me because I think it's because there's no service there. It just kind of got wavy. So now I'm calling back. I get someone else on the line, and this frigging guy starts to tell me, oh, well, what we suggest in this situation, because we're dealing with this with Cove right now, you can't get into the tow driver's car. So we suggest, you could call a Lyft or an Uber, And I say, excuse me? I just bought this car 4 months ago. I've been out of that car for 5 days in the last month and a half. And you tell me to go get a Lyft or an Uber? I was like, this is the worst customer service I've ever heard in my life. If a customer who just bought a car within the last 6 months calls you and says, I'm sitting on the side of the road right now, car died. I've been in the shop 5 times in the last month. This will be the 5th time in the last month and a half. I'd like a car. You say, we're getting you a freaking car. It's not a 3-year-old car. We're not out of warranty or anything. This is a brand new car that's been a lemon since I got it. And yeah, I just don't even understand how they get away with this, to be honest, So I'm thinking, how do I go about pursuing like a lemon law situation? Because the other thing, here's the crazy thing. The car's dead when I get back to it this evening. 7 o'clock, I get a call from them saying, okay, we're going over to the car, like the tow truck. This happened at 4 o'clock, guys, mind you, okay? 4 o'clock, I'm driving through Westport, heading back towards Fairfield, and this thing happens with the car. So for 3 hours or for 2 hours, I'm sitting there. I shut the car off at a certain point because it was so cold, all this weird stuff was happening. I shut off the car. It was so cold. I'm sitting there waiting to hear from AAA, not AAA, from the Ford consumer, whatever it is, or the repair roadside service. And I called my wife and I said, look, this looks like I'm not going to be able to get in their car. I don't even think they're going to get here before it's dark. I think you should come get me because my phone's about to die, or the battery's about to die on the car, and then I'll have no way to actually get a text from them, to hear from you. I'm going to be in the middle of this, in the dark, in the middle of the woods here, and I don't want that. And so she's like, she was with the kids, and she jumps in, comes over, picks me up, and thank goodness, guys, it was getting really cold just to be out there without, and I realized how terrible it is to buy an electric car now, because when this situation ever happens again, I can't use the heat because there's not enough battery on the car. Like, I'll fully charge this thing, and all I have to do is put the heat on the lowest level, and it drains down to like 50% within an hour and a half. It's that bad. And I'm like, dang. Like, so if you were ever stuck on the highway for 2 hours, because that happens sometimes, you're sitting there in the highway in the middle of a blizzard for 2 hours trying to get home, and you're on a half a tank of gas, right? You're done. You got to shut off that heat and deal with the cold in a Mach E. I'm sure it's the same thing in a Tesla. I'm not sure, but I don't think you could be efficient when it comes to running the heating grid in the car. So reality is, I'm having some buyer's remorse for this car at this point, and the car was towed to the dealership, and it was just a weird day. The culmination of a really weird day, if you think about where I was up really late talking on TikTok, to a point where I wanted to go to sleep 2 hours before I did. But I was enjoying the conversation, and there were so many people on. You guys know I always tell you it's a very hard thing for me to leave when we have a lot of people on. Like, if we ever have 1,300 people on, I don't know how I'm going to say goodnight each night. I'm going to just probably keep it going. I even do that sometimes now just because we're having so much fun. But the reality is, it's hard for me when people are there and they want more. I'm happy to do more. But that was up really late. Then I get the boot where I can't. They literally, right while I'm in the middle of the live, guys, they cut me off. It was like, you're booted for misinfor. I was like, you gotta be. Oh, these friggin' jerks. And then they were like, even if you don't intentionally mean to, if you say things that can be harmful to the, oh my goodness, all these freaking Karens. Everybody's just so sensitive in the 2020s. We can't hear that. Oh, no, you know what? You can't hear that. I won't let you hear that, okay? I'm not going to let any of you hear that, okay? Because I think it's bad. And I am the arbiter of what I think. And I get to say everything. And you guys just do what I believe is good, bad, or whatever. All right? So we're dealing with it, guys. What a weird day. The car, hopefully I'll get this thing fixed. But I don't really know what's next when it comes to this car. Let's get into a couple of stories here and see if that brings us into a different area. I was up again late last night, so I'm not sure how long this is going to be. I'm pretty beat, as you could probably tell right now. Holy cow, especially sitting on the side of the road waiting for these freaking, that's pretty stressful. Joe Biden and Ukraine gaffe now comes at expense of U.S. troops. President Sleepy Poopy Pants is still trying to clean up after his gaffe-prone press conference on Russia and Ukraine, but now he's doing it with American lives on the line. The administration announced Monday it was putting 8,500 troops on heightened alert, whatever that means, in preparation for possible deployment in Eastern Europe to respond to Russian invasion of Ukraine. The troops would be deployed as a deterrent and would not be a part of the defending force in Ukraine, according to the administration. Sure, still big risk, Sleepy Poopy Pants said. This comes just months after Sleepy Poo removed the last remaining troops and civilians from Afghani, and after a botched withdrawal plan led to chaos and cost untold Afghan lives. It's clear now this administration's reactive policies are a disaster, and it's a major reason why Sleepy Poopy Pants bumbling Biden Joey Futon will be one of the most unpopular presidents in history. But apparently he was the most popular in history. Got the most votes in history right there, though. That's another part that they put underneath. There's a little asterisk. The decision to put U.S. troops on alert seems a reaction to Biden's comments last week at his marathon press conference. By marathon, it was 17 minutes before he took a cat nap. It was a marathon in Joey Sleepy Pants terms because he stayed awake for a full half hour by Menon. If it's one thing, okay, this is Sleepy Poo. Hold on, I'm not. He mistakenly opened the door to a minor incursion of Ukraine by Russia. That's one thing if it's a mere incursion and we end up with having a fight about what we do and what not to do, huh? What? My Aunt Judy said so. And Biden said that in remarks, and people didn't know what the hell he was talking about. Hours later, he walked back around the Rose Garden, followed the Secret Service guy away from the path, around the path, and like up the grass, briefcase and all, walked around the outside to the gazebo situation, and then he smiled. He said, "Was I not supposed to follow you?" "No, you weren't, sir. We even pointed in this direction and said, you go this way. You're the president. You've been doing it for months. And you followed me up and around the grass, Secret Service guy. You're doing well." Look, over the weekend, after meeting with his military officials at Camp David, BB Boo, Sleepy Poo, formulated the latest response to Russia military advancements on Ukraine, and it's clear the world can't afford another Biden foreign policy mistake. From negotiating with the malign Iranian regime while they have threatened former President Trump, or allowing the Taliban to sweep through Afghanistan and directly imperil American lives, or refusing to hold the Chinese Communist Party accountable for all of its central roles in the origins of the civet died. We call it the Fluhan people. And it's aggressive, this aggression towards Taiwan. That's another thing that Trumper will tell you about too, if you ask him. The Biden administration, if you call them that, the record after 1 year in office is marked by an abject weakness. Former Trumper Secretary of State Mike Pompeo wrote, "But his weakness has been unmatched in attempting to deter Russia's imminent invasion of Ukraine." Biden's incompetence on foreign policy is so shocking because the former vice president's strength was supposedly his experience. Bang, biggity boo, that guy gave him a zingy. Apparently, all those decades in the Senate didn't make much of an impression on his judgment. And if the lack of public support isn't enough, imagine what Vladimir Putin, that was a weird one, Vladimir Putin, must think when he looks at sleep sofa poopy pants, took a look at my diaper. We know what you did. Joe Battenfield, you did a good job down there, guys. He's a columnist. Joe Battenfield's a veteran Herald political columnist and multimedia reporter. By Menon you. I give you a little by Menon, my friend. That's when I give you respect, is when we do a by Menon. You know? Right? Texas says, what a shame to have a sleepy poopy pants running the government. Like, what are we talking about over here? Next story, the X particle from the dawn of time detected inside the Large Hadron Collider. Now, this is interesting because you guys know there's some stuff going on with the Hadron Collider. There's Mandela situations, Mark-Della situations, because the X particle and the Hadron. Let's check it out here. The mysterious particle reveals insights into the earliest moments of the universe. Nothing like a coffee at 11:11. Synchronicity it. Got it. Look at it with someone else. Oh, that's the other one. This is cool. Physicists at the world's largest atom smasher have detected a mysterious primordial particle from the dawn of time. About 100 of the short-lived X particles, so named because of their unknown structures, were spotted for the first time amid trillions of other particles inside the Large Hadron Collider. The world's largest particle accelerator, located near Geneva at CERN, the European Organization of Nuclear Research. This is the long form if you want to do it. These X particles, sometimes they do this when they're talking about them. Yo, we're doing an X. They're not doing a Malcolm X. No, they're doing a guys. These X particles. How's your X doing today? They're like, good. We got them. We split them apart at the nucleus. These X particles, which likely existed in the tiniest fractions of a second after the Big Bang, were detected inside a roiling broth of elementary particles called a quark-gluon plasma, formed in the LHC by smashing together lead ions. By studying the primordial X particles in more detail, scientists hope to build the most accurate picture yet of the origins of the universe. They published their findings January 19th in the Journal of Physical Review Letters. This is just the start of the story. It's not the end. It's not the beginning of the end. It's the end of the beginning. Leviathan? Anybody Leviathan in it with me? I did a Leviathan. V? It's just the start of the story, Leviathan situation. Lead author Yen-Ji Lee, member of CERN's CMS collaboration and the experimental particle physicist at Massachusetts Institute of Technology, said in a statement. Okay, so her name is Yen-Ji Lee. Guys, we can't go there. We've shown we can find a signal in the next few years. We want to use the quark-gluon plasma to probe the X particle's internal structure, which could change our view of the kind of material the universe should produce. Yeah, she's saying it. The scientists traced the origins of the X particles to just a few millionths of a second after the Big Bang, back when the universe was a superheated trillion-degree plasma soup teeming with quarks and gluons. That gluon again, right, Joanne? Right? They're doing a gluon situation over here, you know? Yeah. You know, sometimes when they're doing it, you have to take heed. Elementary particles that soon cooled and combined into the more stable protons and neutrons we know today. Just before this rapid cooling, a tiny fraction of the gluons and the quarks collided, sticking together to form very short-lived X particles. That's right. The researchers don't know how elementary particles configure themselves to form the X particle structure. They're still trying to figure that one out, guys. But if the scientists can figure that out, they will have a much better understanding of the types of particles that were abundant during the universe's earliest moments. Pretty cool, right? Right? To recreate the conditions of a universe and its infancy, we have this guy below who looks like he was the mailman in Cheers. Forget what his name is at the moment. To recreate the conditions of the universe in its infancy, researchers at LHC fired positively charged lead atoms at each other at high speed. How high speed? Smashed them at friggin' thousands of more particles, a momentary burst of plasma resembling a chaotic primordial soup of young universe. That was the easy part. The hard part was sifting through the data from 13 billion head-on ion collisions to find the X particles, guys. Don't you know? That's the tough part. It's not the doing all the others and then, you know. Primordial soup, easy. Sifting through data, hard. They told you right there. Theoretically speaking, there are so many quarks and gluons. This guy's telling us about it right here. Oh, look at that. I'm playing basketball. When I play basketball, sometimes I do a spinneroo. Look, and I can hold it like Michael Jordan, and now it turns into the sun. Pretty cool, right? Yeah, I thought so too. They made this in CGI, just like we do with NASA. And this is something you won't hear about except here on LS, when we do our LS situation. I wrote all about it on this blackboard here. You can see all the data. It's the same data that they used on the CDC. And I'm able to hold the sun, and look, I'm going to pass it. There we go. We had a lot of fun. A-okay. I got to tell you, this is a lot of fun when we do it here at CERN, and they have an explosion on the screen. Anyway, I don't know what he's talking about. Guys, theoretically speaking, this is what he's doing. He's doing a theoretically speaking situation. There's a lot more to read, and I'm just not going to do it.
All right. They have an X particle situation. Beginning of time. Sounds good. Thanks for the story, Mark. You're welcome. Next one on the list. We're talking about this isn't the right freaking story. What are we doing? Hold on, mama. Hold on, mama. I don't like when the stories don't transfer over and I'm in the middle of doing it, you know? This is it right over here. I don't even think this is the one, but whatever. Oh, no, this is the one. What are we doing? You can't give me the one I want to do? Guys, this is the story of all stories. You ready for it? Woo! Flying car cleared for takeoff. But you're going to need a pilot's license to friggin' take off. So you better get that. You better get out there and do it. 4 wheels and 2 wings. You're 2 winging it. You're out there. You're doing it. You're like, hey, you want to go for a ride? They're like, yeah, sure. Where's your car? Like, no, it's a friggin', what do we call that? A Klein? A car plane? A Klein? It's a Plar. Why don't you go for a ride in my Plar? You want to take a ride in the Plar? What, oh, you have a Plar? No freaking way. Yeah, I'm down. Where are we going? Oklahoma? You could take me to Oklahoma on your Plar? Like, you couldn't go Vegas? You couldn't go like, oh, we're going to go down to the Bahamas in my Plar. No. You decide you're going to Oklahoma. What's there? The flats? You're going to Oklahoma Flats? Is that a thing? I don't know. But you're doing it. You have a Plar. You can go anywhere. Eastern, United States situation, north, south, southern seaboard, you're doing, no, I'm going to Oklahoma in my Plar. Sometimes we wonder where your motivation lies. I can't wait to go to Oklahoma with my Plar and show up there in the freaking, rice fields. And where are we? Cornfield? I don't even know. I've never been to Oklahoma. But you don't go there when you have a Plar. I'm just saying you don't do it. So, guys, let's read the story. Let's see how you wind up getting a freaking Plar. A Plar that can transform into a small aircraft. It's, again, Joanne, do me a favor. Get the United States Patent Congress Trademark Office on the phone. Trademark Plar. Yeah, Plar. P-L-A-R. It's a plain car. Yep. No, that's what they're going to go with. I'm certain. Future mark. So just do a trademark situation, and then they're going to have to pay us every time they use the name Plar. That's what the benefits of being the owner and the copyright owner. You know what I mean? I'm not only the copyright owner, but I'm also a client. That's how you're doing it. A car, Plar, that can transform into a small aircraft has passed flight tests with several flying colors in Slovakia. Joanne! I thought we were getting a green light here in the United States of America. You got me a story with freaking Slovakia? I'm going there with... Isn't that right next to Melania Trump's hometown? Slovenia? The air car? Are you kidding me, Joanne? They're going with air car? It's a Plar. Oh my goodness. You know what I mean, guys? Yeah, we're going to go with the Plar. I can't. It's unbelievable. Wait, let me see what's happened. Kathleen says the short takes having issues. Apparently, YouTube just comment error, loading it repeatedly until you give up. Mark, or like me, go over to your channel. Oh, see if you can explain a little more about what that is, because there's a lot of weird stuff that's going on. I don't even know if it's specifically my platform, but there's a lot of weird stuff going on. I'm calling it the Plar. I don't freaking like the air car, guys. You see what they call it on the screen here. They're calling it the air car. These dummies. Yeah, it flies. Let's see what it looks like when it flies. Let's give it a look. You gonna show us how this thing flies?
What's happening? No! Oh, it's fantastic!
All right, let's see how this is. Wow, that's actually, I would
So have you
drive that.
always dreamed of
I would drive that
taking
Plar.
off in a car like
Oh, that's not the
Chitty
real
Chitty Bang
Plar?
Bang? So the manufacturer
Okay, here we
of
go. I don't need to
Aircar,
hear this lady.
is a
She's an idiot.
dual-mode car and aircraft.
I'm not,
Hi,
she's
all right,
not
so
an
the
idiot. I don't know who she
manufacturer
is.
of
I'm just
Aircar,
joking.
this is a dual-mode car and aircraft.
Look at that.
Says it just got a certificate of airworthiness by the Slovak Transport, Authority.
Slovakia.
CNN's Anna Stewart has the details.
Tell us about it, Anna.
I'm Anna Stewart in London.
Anna Stewart
A
in
flying
London.
car
Hold
has
on,
been
Anna
granted
Stewart
a
in London.
certificate this
Let me see. I want to just see it fly. I don't
more
need to
than
hear Anna
6
Stewart. She's got a nice accent, but whatever. Here we go.
Was granted
Whoa, guys, check it
approval
out.
by Slovakian authorities after completing more than 70 hours of test flights,
That is
including
pretty
more than 200
bad.
takeoffs
I
and
love it.
landings.
Whoa, look at
In
that
those
thing.
flights last year, the air car spent 35 minutes flying between 2 cities in Slovakia. After landing in Bratislava, the aircraft was transformed into a car and driven into the city centre.
Guys.
Don't expect it to land in a car showroom near you too soon, though. The air car is still just a concept car, and you'll need to be a qualified pilot.
See,
to fly one.
Joanne? Stupid concept car.
Anna Stewart. I love
That's
that thing,
just
but
like
you're not
Joanne-
fitting into a
no,
compact
Joanne.
spot with that.
No, Joanne, it's like when we were kids, you see like oh, look, Mercedes has that new concept car with the extra lights on the side. You never freaking saw that car. It was just a one-off. This is a one-off situation, I think. Next story on the list, fam and friends. A fully digital US dollar? This could be bad, and maybe this is why we've seen a crypto kind of beating the last couple weeks. The Fed releases study of potential contender to cryptocurrency. Interesting. The Federal Reserve released a report last week exploring opportunities to create a fully digital US dollar, which could serve as a more stable alternative to other digital forms of money like cryptocurrency. Called central bank digital currencies, CBDCs, the currency would be equivalent to a digital form of paper money in the United States. Digital money is already prolific, with many modern transactions occurring over digital wallets and systems. According to an October 2021 piece by Harvard Business Review, over 97% of money in circulation is from online transactions. However, the digital money used to typically store in a commercial bank ledger or a public ledger in a case of crypto, in contrast, the CBDC would be a liability of the central bank, meaning it would be backed up and owned by the Federal Reserve. Currently, only physical cash is backed by the Federal Reserve. Nothing's backed by there's nothing there to back it. According to the Federal Reserve, some potential benefits of the digital dollar could include streamlining of cross-border payments and supporting the dollar's role as an international currency. The digital currency can also extend public access to safe central bank money with banking of the federal government as an alternative to digital money from private banks. Guys, bottom line, every crypto is in trouble because the government needs to control the money. Oh, Anna, so good to see you. Oh, you know what? You're right, Kathleen. When I went someone sent me a comment on one of my shorts. And when I went to respond to it, it was Lucky Haskins. And every time I went to respond to it, it kept coming back with, something error. What did you say? You actually said exactly what it says. Some sort of error. How is my computer already running low on disk space? This is insane. I haven't even downloaded anything on here. It baffles me how quickly I run out of space on this drive. I have to figure that out. Very, very odd. I had 9 gigabytes when I started the computer yesterday. Now it's down to 500 megabytes. How's that even possible? Oh, goodness. So just beware, guys. They're going to try to steal our wallets again. Meta, Mark Zuckerberg. Meta unveils Metaverse AI supercomputer, claims it will be the world's fastest computer. The social media giant said that the AI research supercluster supercomputer is already operational and expects to be fully completed around the middle of the year. Facce, parent company Deadwood, said its newly created artificial intelligence research supercluster will pave the way toward building the metaverse. The metaverse is such a freak. We haven't been playing games for the last 35 years. Oh no, we're going to go online. Oh, we haven't been online. I don't even want to read this. I can't stand this guy. Mark Zuckerberg blows. Last story, guys. This is a big one for me. There apparently is going to be a bomb cyclone that could bring a powerful nor'easter to the northeast this weekend. And I'm a little nervous about that because it says we can get up to 30 inches of snow. What? 30 inches? That's completely nuts, right? So that's our news for the day, fam and friends. I think we're going to have a pretty easy night tonight because I am pretty beat. I was up late, and then having the car breakdown today was pretty messed up. I'm going to play you a song, though, real quick. Hope you guys saw the video I put out earlier. And remember, tomorrow I plan to put out the California Love shorts of Trumper. You know, it's... YouTube did it again yesterday. We didn't say anything off color, and they hit me with a limited. I already challenged it, but it's like they keep doing that. Metaverse is not good. No, it's not. You know why? Because it's going to cause people to stop living their lives. They're going to stop living in this moment. It's terrible. It's the worst thing ever. I wrote a song a while back that I don't remember much about it, but I know I had the hook in my head before the show started. And just talking about meta makes me think about this. I don't know. Let's see. This is the song. It's called Help Them Find the Light. This was definitely going to be the one and only song. I'm going to take a nap and go to sleep-a-roo after this. Get some rest. On February 4th. Figure out the car in the morning. Check this out, guys. This is for all of us. Propaganda's all over my screen. I tune in, I open up anything from Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, you pick. Yeah, it's all the same thing. Yeah, they're plastering the images, trying to get the fear to take me out of my game. No, you can't get to me. You see, we're living in a higher vibration here. You see, you can't penetrate the light we're building here. No, we're going to keep on growing, going to keep on showing the negative world the way to the light.
stand on the precipice of life, waiting for the knife to come down and cut you start running away from all the light and darkness that's sending your way. Oh, let's get away. Show them the way. Show them the way into the light. Show them the way home into the light. We'll find a way into the light. Find a way into the light. Oh, find a way to the light. Everybody gather round, put your hands up in the air, wave your hands back and forth, yeah, and let it all out. Oh, reach for the sky, yeah, let it all fly, yeah, down your fingertips, yeah, you can scream it from your lips, yeah, you can let it all out. The universe is waiting for you. It's waiting for you. To ride. Your hands in the air, wave them round. Yeah, show the world you care. Yeah, you're not giving up like them. No, I'm over the hatred, the fighting, all of the perpetual hate. Yeah, let's put it down in the ground. Yeah, let's bury it 6 feet down. Yeah, let's move on. Let's drop the frown. It's turning it around. Yeah, let's smile some more and change the world. Yeah, let's teach them how to find the light. Help them find a way into the light. Don't find the light. Find a way into the light. Highway to the light. How to find the light. How to find the light. Oh yeah, it's a tangled web. We're sticking to it, yeah, we can't get our hands out, no. Yeah, grabbing you no matter where you go. You're stuck to their glue. Yeah, we've got to get control back. We've got to say no. Help them find a way into the light. How to find the light. Oh,
don't give up on them, no. We still got time to get control back. So don't give up, no. Just open your heart and help them find the light. Help them find the light. Help them find the light. We gotta do help them find the light. Help them find the light. Help them find the light. That was a freaking pick throw. It sure was. You better pick through the freaking hell out of that thing. Oh, fam and friends. Little over an hour today. We get some rest, get my car fixed. Tomorrow, hopefully, I don't know, we'll figure it out. And tomorrow night I'll be rested up and we'll have a nice longer show. But if you have any ideas, anything you want to get into tomorrow, any music you want to hear, any songs that we've created in the past you'd like me to play tomorrow, I'm happy to do that. Just shoot me a note on Telegram. If you haven't, just go over, I think the link is you have to hit the Linktree link and look for my Telegram page there. Also, all the music, it's on the Linktree. You can use the Linktree for all my platforms. I set that up. It's pretty cool. And hopefully this week we'll have another interview. I'm asking a bunch of people. We'll see if anybody wants to come on to do another. I think we should have at least one a week for now. And if we could do it at one every day, that would be amazing. And I don't think we'll have 7 because Trish is right. It's going to be just a piece of, news, a piece of this, that, and other thing. It's not going to be an hour of news. It's just I'm getting into it, but we'll probably be more like, 20 minutes of the news, something like that, usually. Oh, Chelly, how are you, my friend? Good to see you. Remember, you can hit my playlist, go to Spotify, listen to all 12 albums for free, 10 hours worth of music. This is another one of mine from last year. You got to go away, you got to go away, yeah, 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 yeah. You got to go away, you got to go away, yeah, 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 you got to go away. Until tomorrow, fam and friends, when we do it all over again. So make sure you give a follow, subscribe, tell some friends, and I will see you tomorrow for the next Renaissance Man show. So, fam, let me say goodnight to you. If you're here, say goodnight now or forever hold your peace. Bradley Smith, Sydney, double-edged sword, my friend, Kathleen Danford. Oh, Chelly, so good to see you. Texas lady, you know how much we love seeing you here. And Trish Killian, you freaking rock. You guys are all awesome. Lisa May, you rock. So awesome seeing you guys every single night, and I can't wait for us to do this again tomorrow. I plan to get some shorts done for you tomorrow, so keep your eye out. Throughout the day, we're going to have a bunch of shorts. And if you haven't, go catch up on the stuff that's out there. I put out something today, and then we did a little bit of a mini movie earlier based on that joke we did the other day with putting together the imaginary people on my show and on Richard's show. So that's a funny bit if you haven't seen that yet. And remember, tomorrow, we do it again. So, fam and friends, have a great night, and remember, it will get better as long as we continue to show up here and build some light together. Until then, it's Mark Pires. And it's Renaissance Man. I love you guys. See you tomorrow. You got to go away.